What's up, Misfit Nation? My name is Matt the Misfit. Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Tonight, we're going to go over Ring of Honor's Final Battle 2022. 5 new champions crowned. An incredible tag team match between FTR and The Briscoes. Their double dog collar match. We had a win of a title. We had a title win via the big swing, which is something I never thought I'd see. Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia put on a technical masterpiece itself. Athena comes in as the favorite, even though she's the heel. As the previous champion came in with no reaction, that being Mercedes Martinez. We saw Jeff Cobb tonight. We've seen a lot of things here. We also have news on the Ring of Honor TV deal. What's going to happen there? I'm about to talk about it now and a little bit after these. Yeah, we also had the Ring of Honor TV deal announcement during the media scrum, which I'm not very happy about it because it just sounds kind of dumb. But I'll talk about that. Hit the likes if you like what you see here. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below. Follow the new Twitter handle on Twitter at Misfit Wrestle TV without the E. I had an issue with Twitter earlier today. I'm not going to go into because I don't want to have any more headaches. But it will be in the description down below. I also have announcements. I made the announcement on my previous Twitter before I got locked out about the Misfit Wrestling Podcast Year-End Awards. Voting right now is open for everything. You can vote. I guess you can vote as many times as you want. You can vote up until the Royal Rumble on January 28th. I did make the announcement that the show Stardom Dream Kingdom 2 will be excluded from this list, meaning matches like Utami Hayashishita and versus Kairi and Julia versus Sherry will not be eligible to be part of this match of the year contenders. I'm sure they're going to be great matches, but they won't be a part of the year-end awards. Unfortunately, I will be revealing the winners of the the awards. While the Royal Rumble is on the air, I'll be posting like a little, I guess, photos, or whatnot of all that stuff and much more. But let's go through this incredible show, Ring of Honor Final Battle, which had a shitty build towards the show, but the show delivered in all aspects because that's what happened last time with Death Before Dishonor. So let's talk about this. Let's open. So we started on the 0 hour. Jeff Cobb defeated the former Lince Dorado in a fine match. So Lince Dorado, I'm going to keep calling him Lince Dorado because that's what I know him as. They start things off with taking Jeff Cobb down with a shoulder tackle. Jeff Cobb starts showing his speed for a man his size. He is incredible. Jeff Cobb, a member of United Empire, United Empire over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling, along with his tag team partner, the Great Okan, who is doing some wonderful things, weirdly, in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So back in the ring, Jeff Cobb drops Lince Dorado with a huge chop while Lince Dorado himself tries to connect with a few forearms. Jeff Cobb instantly drops him with just one huge, like a Walter-like chop. There's too much showboating going on from Jeff Cobb, which allows Lince Dorado to run Jeff Cobb into the turnbuckles, follows it up with a dive into the outside of the ring to wipe out the bigger man. Lince Dorado comes off the top comes back in the ring, does a springboard senton, which gives him a near fall, which again allows Jeff Cobb to kick out. But the tide turns when Jeff Cobb hits, slams Lince Dorado down into the mat, tries to get the job done. Obviously, with the moonsault, didn't work out too well. Dorado counters the Toro of the Islands, which is a great fucking finishing maneuver and name for a finishing maneuver. The pinfall attempt comes up short from Lince Dorado. He hits a few forearms as he took a dive to the back of the ring. dive back into the ring rather. Jeff Cobb then tries to do a beautiful deadlift suplex back into the ring. Dorado reverses that into a bulldog for a second from the second rope. Jeff Cobb misses with a right hand. Then he pops up Dorado. Plants him with Hola means goodbye. Hola means goodbye for the victory. Jeff Cobb wins in the first match of the Zero. I almost called it the pre-show. The Zero. It is the same thing, but Jeff Cobb is great. I love everything about Jeff Cobb. He reminds me of quite a few people. He reminds me of a Bam Bam Bigelow, a Big Van Vader. People like even an Umaga. He reminds me of those three individuals who, for their size, can do incredible fucking shit in the ring, and I love it. So next up, we had Jericho Appreciation Society's Angelo Parker and Matt Menard defeat Shinobi Squad's Cheeseburger and Elam Ism. Fun little match. Cheeseburger is over. Obviously, he's a great comedy act, but he's also incredibly talented in the ring. He came out with a mask in tribute of Darius, who was the former booker for Ring of Honor. Now I believe he's over there in Impact Wrestling. I think. Could be wrong, but I believe he's over there now in Impact Wrestling. Cheeseburger eats an elbow. It's funny. You get it. So Cheeseburger hits an elbow after mocking the handshake that both 2.0 members were trying to do with a terrible version of the Code of Honor. The 2.0 work together with knee breaker strike combination. Menard hammers down with punches into the corner as Angelo Parker gets back into the ring, hits a snap suplex on Cheeseburger, tries to take control of the match. 2.0 frequently tags in to remain in control. Great tag team, tag team strategy there. They start isolating Cheeseburger with Parker running back into his corner to connect with a back elbow. Cheeseburger then looks for a tag. And yet again is tackled down. He crawls underneath both men to make the tag to Eli. Eli comes in hot with a huge spear into the corner, hits both men, follows up with a pop-up neck breaker with Cheeseburger comes in with a stomp. However, Cheeseburger is then sent to the outside as he tries to continue his attack. That allows Matt Menard to hit a suplex. Then they try to connect with they hit the double DDT for the win, while Cheeseburger's isolated on the outside, unable to help Eli to kick out or get out of this predicament. The winners, obviously, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time we see them here tonight. We've seen them about 3 times. I'm gonna say 3 times tonight. Could be wrong. Next up, we got women's action here. Willow Nightingale defeated Trisha Dora. Fun little match here. Again, Willow Nightingale is over with the crowd. Willow takes flight to the corner with a series of lariats to Trisha Dora, but Adora matches the power with a beautiful Northern Light suplex, which gets a near fall. Then she follows it up with a couple of strikes of her own. They then try to make their way to their feet. Willow Nightingale nails several clotheslines and chops, then attacks into the corner. She, being Willow Nightingale, heads to the top rope, nails a shotgun drop kick. Adora was able to kick out of the pinfall attempt. Nightingale attempts the powerbomb, her finishing maneuver. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a powerbomb. It gets blocked several times. Instead, she lifts Adora. Willow Nightingale lifts up Adora, plants her on her own knee. Adora continues to fight back, but through another suplex, then a huge top of her own. Despite that, Willow Nightingale hits a beautiful pounce. I love the pounce; it's a great move. Launching her opponent across the ring, just boom. Like she goes from one corner to the other, or one side of the ring to the other. It looks great. She was able to follow that up with a power bomb. This time, gets the victory. Willow Nightingale is your winner. I said your Willow, your winner. And there you go. She's again. I like her as a professional wrestler. I love that she's over with fans. Not a big fan of her gimmick or her smiley persona. Just that will not get you as far. Like, I mean, look at Bailey. You know, you go on the NXT, got her over massively, but since she came to the main roster, it's like, people didn't care. So now she's like this new, this. I love this new version of Bailey that we had gotten in 2019. So it's good, some good stuff. Main event of the 0 hour. Top Flight surprisingly defeated the Kingdom. This is a great match here. Nice to see Dante Martin and Darius and Dante back in action here. Top Flight speeds things up with Dante hitting flights into. This is all over the place. At one point, Maria gets on the ring apron to help distract to get the Kingdom win here. Mike Bennett, forearm, he brings out a forearm, hits Darius into a powerbomb by Matt Taven. Mike Bennett then hammers in a few strikes and fall in the corner, follows it up with a suplex. Matt Taven then does a springboard off the middle rope as he looks to for a knee strike, but misses. It allows Darius to hit a jawbreaker. Mike Bennett tags in, launches Darius into a strike from Matt Taven, who then drops down onto his own as he leans in on Bennett's knee. Bennett takes too long to do the pile driver, which allows for a reversal. But Mike Bennett then immediately grabs him back in, grabs him back, pulls in a Kimura lock, breaks out of it. The two men then go back and forth with slaps. Darius wins the slap off here. Gets poked in the eye. Mike Bennett looks to close the momentum, but Darius reverses in with a Spanish fly. Comes in with a Dante comes in with a who takes out Matt Taven with several strikes and a standing moonsault. Near the end of the match, again, Maria looks to do another distraction. She ends up getting sent into the back, like referee tells her she's out here. The Kingdom aims for a double team. That doesn't work. Top Flight hits one of their own double teams as Darius holds Mike Bennett as Dante hits a nosedive for the win. Top Flight go for the win here. That was a fun close to 0 hour. Surprised that the Kingdom lost here. Again, I still don't. I mean, I thought they were. Now this doesn't make any sense now because, given what happened earlier, what was the point of teasing the Kingdom versus the FTR? It just makes no sense now. Main card. This match, the finish of this match was kind of awkward. Like it wasn't supposed to happen. So Jalisco, as teaming with Roosh, he comes in. They take on AR Fox and Blake Christian, who's doing some great stuff. No one's gonna like this match was great, but no one's gonna remember the match itself. People are gonna remember the ending. The ending of the match. I'm just gonna talk about that here because I think that's the only thing people are gonna want to talk about here. So Blake Christian sends Jalisco into the corner, back into the ring, as AR Fox plants Jalisco. After that, connects with the 450 to get the victory. What happened here, while the referee is counting, Jalisco kicked out. Like everyone saw it. The crowd saw it. The commentators saw it. People at home saw it. And Jalisco and Roosh just start beating the ever living piss out of the referee and AR Fox and Blake Christian. They ruined their night. It was very odd, and like I think they were legitimately pissed. I don't think AR Fox and Blake Christian were supposed to win that, but that's just how everything went in here. After the match, so there's that. Next up, we had Mercedes Martinez lose the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship against Athena. This one I kind of saw coming. It was in Athena's hometown. Athena, of course, once won the NXT Women's Championship, also in Texas. We'll talk about that in a second. This match was fine. Athena super over in this crowd because again it was in her home state of Texas, not that far from her hometown of Houston. They were in Arlington, Texas, which funny enough, they were in Arlington, Texas, like a few months ago for Supercard of Honor. So I just think that's kind of hilarious. I believe they were in Arlington, Texas for Supercard of Honor. I could be wrong. Let me go look that up here. Oh, they were Garland, Texas. They were around for WrestleMania weekend, which is I think it was funny that they had another show in Texas. That was pretty funny. Which I think was another title change. I believe. Wasn't it? I believe so. Technically it was where Mercedes Martinez beat Willow Nightingale to become the interim women's world champion, and then she had to beat Deonna Purrazzo on an episode of Dynamite to become the undisputed champion. Athena launches Mercedes across the ring, hits a running super kick for good measure. Mercedes was able to Mercedes Martinez was able to kick out. She rocks Athena with a huge forearm and then a half suplex, following up with a huge brainbuster. Athena kicks out. Martinez then looks to go for a submission, but Athena reverses it, sends Mercedes into the ropes, which is followed up by a dive. Followed up by a dive coming from Mercedes Martinez. She looks for a drop kick, or Athena looks for a drop kick. Mercedes avoids it. Then you see Athena crashing into the guardrail. That leads to Anarchy. The Anarchy suplex on the outside, back into the ring. Mercedes nails a lariat that she takes out and starts taking control of the match. Mercedes Martinez then looks for the Brass City Sleeper. Athena, finally somebody was smart enough of a brain to do this, starts biting her arm to block the move getting applied here. She catches her with a knee, but Mercedes grabs the ropes to keep the match alive. Athena rips off the top turnbuckle, throws Mercedes into the turnbuckle, and then hits the Eclipse. I'm going to keep calling it the Eclipse for the win, and now Athena made history. She became the first woman to ever win the NXT and Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So that's a huge deal there, and she did it in Texas, which is even more special for her, I guess. Next up, we had Swerve and Glory defeating Shane Taylor Promotions. All the match here, Swerve was basically turning on Keith Lee here. There's a point in this match. There was actually a huge spot I thought was pretty impressive. Keith Lee was in the ring, and Shane Taylor just comes flying off the top rope. Keith Lee catches him. And Keith Lee is just a freaking powerhouse, and I fucking love him. At one point, Keith Lee accidentally hits Swerve. Swerve gets because Shane Taylor pulls out of the way. Swerve is knocked out. Swerve gets in there. He leaves the ring. We think, oh well, shit, he's gonna cost his match to the team. Nope. Keith Lee hits the Big Bang Catastrophe for the win. Like I said, fine little match, fine tag match. The real story here is Swerve and Glory seemingly is no more. Then we had the boys and Dalton Castle to lose the trios, the six-man tag titles to the Embassy. I kind of saw that one coming. But I saw it coming. It was not something I wanted to talk about very much, but that's how that worked there. So there's that. This match was all right. Again, Dalton Castle's over as fuck as usually. He usually is. Prince Nana throws in one of the boys who. So at one point, Dalton Castle again, like I said, was over here. The boys are over. That whole gimmick is over. Love me some Dalton Castle. It's Power of the Peacock. But Power of the Peacock obviously was not enough for the win here. To get the win. The embassy throws one of the boys into Brian Cage, who hits a power bomb to earn the 6-man tag titles to the embassy. So the embassy are your new Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions. So we had a backstage interview with Top Flight. They were talking about how, it's been a few weeks since they've been back and they've been enjoying it. 2.0 comes in. They start beating each other up. They come out to the outside. Angel Parker gets on the microphone and ask why this is why a Ring of Honor died in the first place. If it was why Ring of Honor died in the first place, if it was so great, that's because it's full of garbage flippy flop wrestlers. Okay. He says Jericho is the man to redirect it. Daddy Magic, as he calls himself, then pulls out the purple hat, which I fucking hate that hat. It says Claudio will team with Jake Hager and they'll become the hat trick. Wheeler Yuta comes out to force them into the back and we have a fantastic, phenomenal technical match here for the Pure Championship. Wheeler Yuta regains the Pure Championship from Daniel Garcia. Early on in the match, Daniel Garcia basically forces Wheeler Yuta to what's the word I'm looking for? To use up all his rope breaks. Here's the rules of the Pure Wrestling rules here. Before we get into that, each wrestler has 3 rope breaks and to stop submission holds and pinfalls. After a wrestler exhausts his rope break, submission, and pin attempts from in or under the rope by his opponent are considered legal. No close fist punches are permitted. Open slaps and chops to the face are permitted. Punches to the rest of the body are allowed, excluding low blows. First to use close fists will receive a warning. Second to use a close fist will result as a disqualification. Title can change hands via disqualification or title countouts. Outside interference will automatically result in a termination of the roster for the wrestler, and that interferes. So that's the Pure title rules. This was, like I said, this was a great fucking technical match. Near the end of it, one of my favorites. I loved it at the end of this match here. Wheeler Yuta is locking in some type of move here. He just starts beating the ever living shit out of Garcia after hitting a power bomb. And he's just hammering elbow strikes and blows into the neck and the side of the head of Garcia. Garcia's out, and Wheeler Yuta is your new Ring of Honor Pure Championship. After the match, our champion rather. After the match, Garcia kicks away the title from Wheeler Yuta, or kicks away the title from Wheeler Yuta, who offers to shake his hand. Then Garcia picks it up, hands it to as a sign of respect. He leaves. So that was how that match ended. That was a great match. That was great shit. Great technical wrestling. One of my favorite matches tonight. Well, it was my favorite match tonight up until this match here. Briscoes and FTR dog collar match for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Holy shit. What do I say about this match? What is there to say about this match? These two teams have, every time they've had a match against each other, have ended up having one of the best matches of the year. They had it at Super Carnivana back in April. They had it again at Death Before Dishonor back in July or was it? I believe it was July, right? Wasn't it July? I think it was July. Yes, it was July, and then tonight. Um, I don't know which one. I personally, my favorite match is their 2 out of 3 falls match, but this was brutal as all hell. Um, Immediately they just start beating the hell out of each other in each area of the ring. Mark Briscoe immediately is busted open, the first to be busted open in this match. Later on, Jay Briscoe gets busted open as well. He's seen both Briscoes landed on chairs. Was seeing a suplex on a chair. The table that was set up never was ever used, which is very odd that they didn't use that. There was no tags because again it was dog collar rules. There was a few references to the Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine dog collar match. No reference to. There was actually somewhat of a reference to CM Punk's dog collar match with Raven. They didn't mention CM Punk by name, but they said there has only been one dog collar match in Ring of Honor history, which was the match with Raven, which is a lot of people's favorite dog collar match, and I agree, it's one of my favorite dog collar matches as well. So, there was a point. Mark Briscoe is getting ready to help Jay with the Doomsday device. Wheeler Yuta just yanks him off the top rope. He's going flying through freaking or on top of the chairs. Jay Briscoe then sends Dax Harwood into the chairs, the steel to break them up. At one point, Dax Harwood, Jay Briscoe brawl to the turnbuckle. Dax comes up on. He's on the top rope, getting ready to hit a diving headbutt. Who's trying to wrap a chain around his head, but it's not working. So he had to improvise. Hits the diving headbutt. Both of them gets busted open. He nails several punches with the chain. At one point, he getting ready to nail Jay Briscoe in the face with it. Jay Briscoe pulls the referee in front of him, and the referee gets knocked the shit out, and he starts bleeding like a stuffed pig. Thankfully there was a second referee on the outside here. He stepped in to finish the rest of the match. Jay Briscoe fires off a lot of quick fire jabs, and then focus goes to Wheeler Yuta, not Wheeler Yuta, Cash Wheeler, and Mark Briscoe, who begin to brawl on the outside of the ring apron. A few forearms and strikes from the Briscoe brothers. Cash Wheeler then sets up the table again that was never used on the outside. They were gonna, I'm assuming they were gonna do like a suplex or a pile driver or something onto the table. Didn't happen though. Nothing actually happened with the table. And so Mark Briscoe starts stopping Cash Wheeler from getting into the ring as Dax Harwood somehow kicks out of the move that was just hit with just the suplex from the top of the top rope of the pile of chairs. Jay Briscoe then yanks on the chain that of Dax Harwood. Again, Mark Briscoe stopping Wheeler from getting into the match to stop it. Jay is pulling back on Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood passes out, and the Briscoes are your 13-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Incredible fucking match. I loved the shit out of this match. It was my favorite match of the night. Following that, the Gun Club, the ass boys, the damn ass boys, for some reason need to be on this show. Start attacking FTR, so they'll claim FTR's legacy. They claim FTR's legacy is dying, and they'll be the ones to kill it. Briscoes then start coming out to make the save, and the young Gun Club just leave. Harwood says that their mission is to beat the ass boy's ass. The Briscoes and FTR embrace, and they close a chapter that started at Final Battle last year in an incredible rivalry. 3 incredible back-to-back tag matches, some of the best tag matches I've ever seen in my life. It's one of the best tag matches in Ring of Honor history, as Ian Riccaboni mentioned several times, and there's that. Samoa Joe defeated Juice Robinson to retain the Ring of Honor TV Championship. This is a fine match. This is the right placement here. Well, unfortunately for them, it's kind of hard to follow the Briscoes and FTR. But Joe hits a muscle buster to retain the championship. We really don't need to talk about much of this match, as I should, because the end game is the same. Samoa Joe retains the Ring of Honor. I'm surprised that Wardlow or somebody didn't come out to confront Samoa Joe afterwards. But main event, Claudio Castagnoli regains the Ring of Honor Championship from Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, which I still can't believe I said that that Chris Jericho competed on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view in 2022. It's wild times here in 2022. The match was all right. Not my favorite. It's not my favorite Jericho match that has happened during this run. But Jericho basically taps out to the swing. He has up in the swing for like 30 seconds. Like Jericho submits. Like I've never seen anybody tap out from the big swing, but Jericho did, and Claudio wins. He's your new Ring of Honor World Champion. Wheeler Yuta comes out to celebrate, and so does ECW legend, former ECW World Champion, former Ring of Honor World Champion Jerry Lynn for some reason, and that's how Ring of Honor's Final Battle closed. Fun show. I don't know if I'm going to keep reviewing Ring of Honor. Basically, also based off on how Tony Khan announced their stupid ass streaming deal. So apparently, Ring of Honor's streaming deal is going to be air weekly. Their TV show's going to air weekly on their fucking streaming service. So you wasted 6 months of AEW television time just to put them on a streaming service. What? You might as well put them on YouTube if you're going to do that shit. But, it was whatever. I didn't really care about that announcement. But yeah, like I said, we have new champions. I'm thrilled that Athena is Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Can do wonders for that. Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe. The Briscoes are a phenomenal tag team. Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia tore the house down until the FTR and Briscoes took it from them. Claudio being champion again is great to see. Hopefully, this is the end of Ring of Honor on AEW television, and we can focus more on. Well, probably not now, given that three of your champions now are AEW talents. Claudio, Wheeler, and Athena are your. I don't count. I don't really count Brian Cage to the war, but hey, what can you do here? But yeah, that was Ring of Honor Final Battle. I enjoyed the show. I'll give the show an easy 8 out of 10. Or actually, no, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. No, actually, I'll keep it an 8 out of 10 for the Pure Championship match and the dog collar tag team match with the Briscoes and FTR. If those I wasn't sure if I was going to watch the show or not, but after I seen that we're going to have a dog collar match, I'm like, sure, well, we'll figure this out here. There was no surprise debuts here tonight. Nothing big happened on the show. It's not like Supercard of Honor where or last year's Final Battle where FTR showed up and the Young Bucks, who was only there to set up the FTR. Actually, the Young Bucks showed up at Supercard of Honor, which also saw the debut or the return rather of Samoa Joe. So are we to find out that not Claudio, what the fuck is his name? Colt Cabana is also injured as well. But that was Ring of Honor, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, fun show. Again, the voting for the year-end awards is up on the new Twitter, or you can go to the community tab here on the on YouTube or on Instagram. I also put up on there. Your voting is up now. It's open all the way through the Royal Rumble next month. Unfortunately, like I said, matches from Dream Kingdom, which like Utami versus Kairi and Shiri and Julia, will not be eligible for this year's year-end awards. I can tell you the current candidates for overall wrestler of the year, because I can do that right now, and I'm going to give you those who they are now. And overall wrestler of the year candidates is John Moxley, Dak Harwood, Azumi, Shiri, Gunther, Bryan Danielson, Miyu Yamashita, Seth Rollins, Starlight Kid, Julia, Josh Alexander, Will Ospreay, and Sami Zayn. And for show of the year, I might as well put that on here as well. Actually, I'll put feud of the year on here too. Those nominations are CM Punk versus MJF, FTR versus the Briscoes, Tam Nakano versus Natsupoi, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, Sheamus versus Gunther, El Phantasmo versus Shingo Takagi, and Shiri versus Julia. That now, again, I know I mentioned. However, Shiri and Julia could, depending, like you can still like feud of the year. This will count for Dream Kingdom if you so choose to put that on here, depending on how that match goes on the 28th for Dream Kingdom, whether or not Julia wins the title or not. So that dictates, you could dictate that all you want. But I also have worst book wrestlers of the year, meaning either they're terrible or they've just been booked really badly. I have tag team of the year. Those names here: FTR, the Usos, Aussie Open, Black Desire, which is Moon Watanabe and Starlight Kid, the Creed Brothers from NXT, Swerve and Our Glory, the Acclaimed Death Triangle. I decided to lump them in there together. The Briscoes, the Young Bucks, Toxic Attraction, which is only going to be Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, Dangerous Tecklers, which is Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, Meltear, which is Tam Nakano and Natsupoi, and FWC, Hazuki and Konguma. So who is number 5 in the PWI 100 tag teams. Congratulations to those two ladies. But I have been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you back here for Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to do a review of NXT, but I will say the show's all right. I'm assuming they're going to have Roxanne Perez win the Women's Championship. I hope to Christ before they cross that whole point with, who was it? With whoever. You may have noticed I didn't do a SmackDown review last night. Unfortunately, I just wasn't feeling it. So no SmackDown review last night. SmackDown was an alright show up until the end. But that's neither here nor there. I will see you guys back here for Monday Night Raw. We got championships to galore. We have number 1 contenders match for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky, Bayley and Alexa Bliss, and I believe Seth Rollins will take on Bobby Lashley to get a championship match for the United States Championship. Other than that, that's Monday Night Raw. I will see you guys Monday. I have been Matt the Misfit. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Until then, we're out.